You're not in the boardroom, you're not in the meetings, you have no idea about the inner runnings of a club. Mozzarella, I'm going for it. So that and more coming up as myself and Paddy are here to go through your questions again. Are you feeling okay?
I'm a little bit blocked up, so excuse if I sound a bit more nasal than normal.
We're going to be really British and
Apologies
have a tea break.
to everyone at home, yeah.
Right, first off, Harsh Shivam has said, with Bayern signing Odriozola, along with Coman and Hernandez coming back in training, are Bayern Munich now among the favourites to win the Champions League if they end up bringing Douglas Costa back on loan as well?
There's a lot of movement, there's a lot of good news for Bayern this month, potentially. Douglas Costa, let's see if that gets across the line. Listen, they're not even favourites for the Bundesliga though.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Leipzig would be the favourites. Yeah, but certainly they are well positioned to have a strong second half of the year. I think there's still doubts about Flick and how he can manage this team into a Champions League contender. He's been a career assistant coach, and this is his first real big job. So let's see if he can turn that in. But I think it's going to be a big stretch, to be honest.
If he does, he has to get the job full time.
Oh, 100%. Only still in a chance, even if they don't, to be honest.
Okay.
I think it's probably a bit of a stretch considering where they're at. Yep. From Sandy Pan Rana, what do you think Timo Werner should choose? Chelsea over Liverpool, or Real Madrid, or any of the other top clubs, and why?
We were discussing this earlier on the Onefootball podcast.
He's a different type of player, isn't he? He's not for everyone.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely not for everyone. The way that Leipzig play, very, very quick, and he's aided by other quick attackers. Apart from Yusuf Poulsen, who's actually not a slouch, but certainly not the way that Sabitzer and Nkunku, and the way that they kind of run at the defence and they're very quick, allows Timo Werner to use his pace. With the likes of Bayern Munich, who have Lewandowski as someone who's can hold up the play, but he sniffs out chances in the box as well. Lewandowski isn't running onto them 20, 30 yards and slotting it past the keeper like Werner is. So I think he'd suit Liverpool in that case.
I tend to agree. That being said, I think when Milik has joined Leipzig, we've actually seen a little bit of a different Werner in a different light. He's been playing up front with a partner who actually plays not a dissimilar Lewandowski role, and he's done pretty well next to him as well. So maybe he's actually more than just that kick and hope. Yeah. He's quick enough to outrun everyone and finish as well.
But I would say that I can't see Bayern switching to a two up front. I wouldn't see Lewandowski and Werner.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, for sure. So you would say Liverpool?
I'd say Liverpool, because at Liverpool, when Firmino drops deep, Salah and Mane sort of run diagonally inwards. They start wide, but they end up in the box as attackers scoring goals, and I can see Werner doing that.
Yeah, potentially. So no Chelsea either? No. I mean, who knows what they're doing up front next season?
Who knows what Chelsea are doing? Again, they play one up front, so it wouldn't be Werner and Abraham, for example. Their wingers are very, very tricky. They cut inside. They don't bust the gut to get into the box like Liverpool.
But linked with Dembele, who is not a completely dissimilar player to Werner as well. Maybe there's a bit there that Frank wants to change up.
True, maybe. Yeah. As long as it's without Giroud, apparently.
Yeah.
Right, next up from Anonymous. Good name.
Go on.
Can Gabriel Martinelli become a legend for Arsenal, or should he move somewhere else in the future?
Well, I mean, he's just really starting to make a mark at Arsenal. I think he looks like a fine player. Like
he really does.
Like I mean, he's been there for a few seasons now. We've seen him in little cameos off the bench in league and cup games, but he's actually starting to make a mark in the big game. So I think he's got a long way to go, and let's hope that he continues in this.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal is the perfect spot for him. Arteta clearly wants to play him, which is fantastic. There's no need to be able to talking about moving anywhere else at this point.
Yeah, he shouldn't, and especially with Aubameyang potentially leaving, not leaving, reaching 30, alongside Lacazette, and Arsenal do play two up front sometimes. There's games for him.
Correct.
There's games for him for sure.
Why not?
I think he's great, and that hurts me. I actually think he is a fantastic young player.
It's a great moment when Matt hurts, to be honest. From Master Hunter, there's a conspiracy theory from Master Hunter 17. So it's a long one, bear with us. Barca purposely injured Suarez so that Griezmann would have to step up. He will bag 20 plus goals and his value will skyrocket. Barca will sell him for 275 million and sign Neymar, all just in time for Suarez to return from injury, and boom, MSN is reunited. What do you think? Griezmann's second half brace and the comeback win proves my point.
I can't argue with that. It makes sense. I mean, 275 million is oddly specific. I don't know who's paying that money for Griezmann.
How can you not argue with the fact that they have purposely injured Luis Suarez in the match?
The man said Griezmann's second half brace and the comeback over Ibiza proves his point, which did happen.
proves his point that Barcelona purposely injured
no,
Luis
they didn't
Suarez.
purposely injure him. I think it may be cause and effect. It may be an actual plan that comes into play after this happens. But personally, I think this is sort of the beginning of the end for Suarez. He will recover from this injury. He will return to Barcelona. But moving forward, if Neymar was to come back next season, I think it would be MSG, which is actually what they put in food.
Oh, that's pretty good.
To make you want
MSG.
more.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I would say in the long term, Griezmann
That makes sense.
Suarez.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You're up.
Right.
Good luck with this name.
That is a good conspiracy theory. Wow. Barathwaj Sundarara man.
You just sort of said things really quick
No,
and
I
under your
didn't.
breath.
No, I didn't.
One more time.
Play this video on 0.5 and you'll see. I said Barathwaj Sundarara man.
That's not too bad.
Thank you.
Not too bad.
Where do you think Cavani should go? He's been linked with clubs like Spurs, Atleti, Barca, Chelsea and United, all of whom can promise him game time at the minute. Which move would be best for him, or should he stay at PSG for now and leave in the summer?
I mean, he wants to go by the sound of things. His parents have even come out and said, please, let my boy go.
they want to move to Atleti. The whole family want to go to Madrid.
And I actually see that being the logical position for him. I mean, Atleti need goals. Him with Felix, I think, could be a nice little relationship. You know, they really love a good front man at Atleti, and they haven't got that at the moment. They haven't with Morata, with Costa. They haven't really got that front man that they can trust. And Cavani, I think, would be a perfect fit.
And I think, yes, from now, maybe for the next year or two. As part of the question we said who could promise him game time at the minute, that's where I think Atleti is better. Because yes, Spurs, Chelsea, Barca and United can offer him game time now, but when their top strikers come back from injury, they can't. Which is why, potentially it could work for the next 6 months, but I think in the long term, Atleti.
I would say there's still at least a good year and a half in Cavani at the right club.
Sure.
At least.
He's 32?
Yeah, come on.
And he's super fit as well.
Yeah, he'll be fine. So I think that's a great move for him.
Yeah. I'd agree.
From the very difficultly named Jack Price.
That was easy.
Getting all the good ones. Do you think Tammy Abraham has got what it takes to replace Kane in the Euros if England get far in the competition? I guess assuming that Kane is not available.
Assuming that Kane is not available, and even if they don't get far, they just need him from the start. Not just from the knockout stage. Tammy Abraham is also injured, unfortunately.
Yes.
As is Marcus Rashford. As is Jamie Vardy. He was not even eligible because he's announced himself retired.
At this rate, it's not coming home, is it?
No, it's not coming home. At this rate, Peter Crouch better get his boots on. Tammy Abraham is a good striker, has shown really good form this season, shown himself to be a good finisher. He's not at Kane's level. No other English strikers at Kane's level.
Not yet, and may still come.
Not yet, but as we've seen, at points this season, if there's injured England players and Tammy Abraham's thrust into the limelight, sure, could work, could be a massive experience for him. Could be, to get a Euro tournament under your belt at age 21.
If all were fit, and Kane is out, who do you take? Who's your number one choice? Rashford. Okay. Even central.
Oh, central. Yeah. Oh, well, depends if Vardy comes out of retirement. But certainly Rashford moving forward. But I think Abraham could do a fine job.
Cool.
Right, Anonymous is next. Not related to Anonymous from earlier.
Yes, there was a space between those two.
So rate the likeliness of these events happening in the decade out of 10. So we'll go 1 not happening, 10 definitely happening.
Okay.
Mbappe winning the Ballon d'Or at least 3 times.
What, 3 times in the next, decade?
Yeah.
Oh, listen, as good as he is, that's a lot. Then again, people seem to dominate that. 5.
Oh, I'd go a bit higher.
Really?
Yeah. That's good. Okay, a team other than Juventus winning the league.
Serie A, I guess.
Yeah.
In the next decade, 8.
No, that's really likely that someone will win it. Oh, okay, you think so?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, no.
These Milan clubs won't be as bad as they have been over the last couple of years forever, and we're already seeing it with Inter.
Imagine if in 10 years they've won at 18 in a row, or was it 19
I mean,
in a row?
exactly. That's unfeasible,
Okay, fair enough, Barca to struggle for 1 season after Messi retires.
In terms of a Barcelona struggle, 7.
So just La Liga then.
Well, they're not going to get relegated.
And just for 1 season? I think it'll be a lot longer than that.
They may be scraping in the Champions League, and that would be a struggle for Barcelona.
Pochettino winning the Champions League.
Good one. 4.
A team other than the Big 6 winning the Premier League.
Next decade. 6.
Okay. Lastly but not least, Onefootball hitting 1 million subs.
Oh, in the next decade, shit, we better.
We better, and you can start by helping us right now.
10 out of 10, by the way. 10 out of 10. It's going to happen.
Smash the subscribe button, because that was a great little segue into asking for subs.
Please, sub. Make it happen, please.
10 out of 10, it's going to happen.
From Daniel657, with Raul Jimenez hot form, do you see him leaving Wolves for a bigger team?
No.
Ooh.
No, okay, that's a lie. Yes, but I don't see him as being successful.
Okay.
I think Raul Jimenez is one of these players. We spoke about this recently with Sheffield United. He's so good because of the role he plays at Wolves. Individually, if you took him out of that team and they didn't play to his strengths, or he might not fit in, I don't think, elsewhere into a higher club. And I also think because what he provides to Wolves, so he scores, 10 to 15 a season.
Great work rate as well.
Yeah. 10 to 15 a season, and he works hard for the team and he provides, and the expectations of Wolves are maybe to pressure the top 6. You go and spend 60 million on him now, you bring him to Chelsea, United, to Spurs. For 60 million, you want him firing into the Champions League, leading the line and getting at least 20 a season. And I just think it's not necessarily his fault as a player. The demand that would then come with a bigger step up would just be a little bit out of his reach, and he wouldn't be appreciated as he is at Wolves.
I see your points. I don't mind him for a United striker, to be honest. I don't mind him.
If he does the work right, and then...
Which he does, we know.
Which he does, and then the byproduct of that was allowing Rashford and Martial to bomb forward and take all the glory and the credit, yes.
I don't mind that, I don't mind
So you're paying 60 million for...
60 million I have a problem with, to be honest.
And I'm not making that figure up. That's probably... If you're buying from... If you're a top 6 team buying from a top 8 team, you're going to be paying a lot of money for him.
Fair enough, yeah.
So, maybe. Okay, next up, Addy V. How is it that most fans and media can see how much of a mess United are, but the people that are running the club can't? No sporting director, no clear short, medium, long-term vision of where the club is going, terrible recruitment and awful player growth.
Wow.
That was you, Addy V, not us.
Yeah, I mean, we've been accused of United bashing on here before. I mean, the question almost answers itself. If the people inside the club can't see what the problems are, or are too proud to make the right changes, or are literally the wrong people in the wrong positions, then of course the club is going to not hit the heights that it should. And that's as simple as that. I mean, I think until there are real changes made in the nucleus of that club, in the people who make those decisions, then we're going to see this same up and down. Where they have a good run of form and then boom, lose to Burnley. These things will happen. These terrible transfer decisions will continue to happen. I think I read somewhere that, no, that was wrong.
I will actually stick up for United here. A rare first on this channel. I'm not so sure,
Frame it.
Mr. Addy V, how you are aware of what the short, medium, long-term vision goals of the club are.
Fair enough. I mean,
as from a spectator point of view, don't get me wrong, we all get mad at our clubs and say this transfer was this was that. You're not in the boardroom, you're not in the meetings, you have no idea about the inner runnings of a club, and it's easy to make assumptions on that from what's happening on the pitch and from the transfer market.
You've just described exactly what we do every week in this show.
No, I get it, and yeah, we do. I'm not saying we don't.
We
do
literally
make
get
assumptions.
paid to do it.
But he or she said, no clear short, medium, long-term vision of where the club is going. You don't know that.
No one knows it for sure, but also you would argue that at least on a short-term basis, there hasn't been the presence of a clear plan. So it's fair enough to assume that maybe there's no medium or long-term
one. Okay, true, but terrible recruitment. I actually think Manchester United recently hit 4,000 games in a row with at least an academy player in the squad. So recruitment-wise, maybe from youth term, good. Maybe from signings, yes,
that's more player growth then. I would disagree with that. I would say player growth has been strong.
Has been very good.
Awful recruitment.
Okay,
you can make an argument for that.
True. I mean, but again, maybe that's only after the players signed. 80 million was a lot for Maguire, but he did have a brilliant season.
Yeah, I mean, for every Maguire, though, there's definitely been a couple that definitely haven't hit the heights. If we go back to the Schweinsteiger, Schneidel, and same day, I mean, 2 bits of good news.
Which team hits the mark on every
They
transfer?
just seem to have made a few more than the rest recently, which is fair enough. Anyway, enough United talk. Cool. So, from Tanishq Rahuja, do you agree with the premise that, like City, Liverpool too bought the league?
No.
Okay. Do tell.
Every team has to spend money to sort of keep up with the game. If you didn't, you'd be relegated and then just keep falling down. If you bought the league, you'd win it every year, but that's not the case. So
yeah, I would
doesn't make
assume
any
if
sense.
it was easy enough to buy a league, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
Definitely spending money is 100% a key aspect of it.
Absolutely.
But then there's what you do with that money, and we just talked about United and their struggles to land the right player every time. No club does, of course. And there's the tactical approach that you take, there's the culture within the team, there's all these there's a multiple of factors that contribute to this.
I would definitely not say that if you're looking at this from a one season and saying Liverpool bought the league, they spent loads of money and they're smashing it this league. This title victory has come from years of planning, has come from signing Alisson last season, Van Dijk the year before, Salah the year before that, Klopp 5 years ago. It's been in the making. They haven't just sort of pitched up one summer, splashed $1 billion, then won the league.
It's the Klopp project, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Before then, it was pretty grim for Liverpool. Yeah, there was some fairly rubbish seasons, and he basically turned it around. And yes, he did it in some ways via a shit ton of money. At the same time, there's a lot of other factors that need to be taken into account.
And I see as well people saying, but the net spend for Liverpool is only 55 million because they've made money from selling, like Coutinho.
Yeah.
This, if teams have investment, they can spend. For Man City, it seems a little bit too much, so they don't necessarily make big money off player sales, but they're buying some of the best players in the world for relatively cheap. I mean, Manchester City's record signing, I believe, is the 60-odd million they spent on Aymeric Laporte. Less than the money spent on Van Dijk, same as the money spent on Alisson. So Man City may have spent a lot, but maybe they spent it right. De Bruyne was less. It was about 55. Some of them were less than 40. These players. So
it comes and it goes. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, Chris Peacock.
Are you serious?
So next up from Chris Kent, who has said, would West Ham take Dimitri Payet back?
It's an interesting question. It's really from left field, that one. I think no. I mean, yes, he was fantastic when he was there. Didn't leave on a good note.
That's the issue.
But also I think that West Ham have enough flighty players or temperamental players at the moment. Right now they need a few people to steady the ship. And as skilled as Payet was and as good as he was in elevating them to a position that they needed to when he was there last time, I just think you're better off getting some reliability in at the moment. Yeah,
exactly. They've got like the Lanzini, the Felipe Anderson, these kind of guys who
Felipe Anderson is the perfect example.
They can turn a match in their head, just not consistently.
No, 100%. So from SA7 games, what are your thoughts on Jordan Henderson's performances this season? This is a good question.
Yeah, because there was talk about Player of the Year, even though that's not for a few months. His 2019 as a calendar year was phenomenal. Really strong end to the season, obviously then lifting the Champions League. Really, really good start to the season and helping in Liverpool's midfield and what they're doing now. He's one of those who I feel, and I'll be the first to say I'd probably do it as well, won't always get the credit.
He polarises a little bit, really, is he just a leader? Is he a bit of a passenger? He's certainly one of the less, I would say, heralded players in the team from a neutral fan's perspective. How good he is, he's also a glue, he also holds that team together off and on the pitch in a way.
He's another one, like we said with Jimenez, who if you took him out individually, would he do well on another team, or is it just the mixture of the team, Klopp, Liverpool, that's really allowing him to bring out the best?
So
he's been good.
I would say he's absolutely, look at his team, look at the team he's captaining. Yeah,
exactly.
You can't really argue with that.
Yeah. Next up, Big Buster Brown. That's an excellent name.
Yes.
Why is Paddy's beard better than yours, Matt? Why is it better?
I think it's for the same reason my back's worse than yours. It's because I'm fucking older, that's why. Because I'm older.
I think that's a slight, Matt, you should probably shave your beard now.
More practiced. No, maybe you should just, keep grooming it. It'll come.
Don't say that, because people will say, Matt, don't shave your beard until Spurs win the title or something like that.
We'll be down here, Rip Van Winkle style, All right, last one. Quick fire from Caleb Wallace. This is a nice, colourful one.
Nice.
Sausage roll or meat pie?
Which meat?
The traditional
chicken balti pie or steak pie?
Steak pie. Let's go steak pie.
Steak pie with sausage roll.
I would agree, but just. Apple or banana?
Pie or just fruit?
Just a fruit.
Love apple pie.
You're a pie.
Apple over banana.
Really? You're off your head, mate.
I think it's because when you play a lot of football, you're forced to eat bananas for energy, and I'm sick of them.
Okay, fair enough. Mozzarella or cheddar?
Oh, mozzarella.
That's a tough one.
I think. Sliced or grated?
Definitely mozzarella like this.
Proper mozzarella.
Proper mozzarella.
Not that sprinkly crap.
No.
Mozzarella. I'm going for it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all of your questions. As always, every Wednesday night in the community tab on YouTube, look out for the community post where you can leave your questions for that Friday's Q&A. But from all of us, we wish Paddy to get better with lots more tea.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.